I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. You know, while the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working. The only thing that I see that is distinctly different about me is I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill. You might have more talent than me, you might be smarter than me, but if we get on the treadmill together, right, there's two things. You're getting off first, or I'm going to die. It's really that simple. Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Why would you be realistic? What's the point of being realistic?
Just put up a barrier.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's done. It's already done. The second I decide it's done, it's already done. So now we just got to wait for y'all to see.
Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk to you about work ethic versus talent and what is more important. I get asked this question a lot by many people, and as you saw in that Will Smith clip there that I played, it is very important to have work ethic over talent. Because one of the secrets is, and we're going to talk about this in this video, is as you start to work more and you find your passion, the talent is going to come naturally and it's going to come easy. Without further ado, let's roll. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about today is Will Smith. You know, that's part of this video that I put in here is that little clip. Will Smith is a phenomenal actor, one of the most talented actors, and if you were to ask me, he's probably my top 3 favorite actors. And as he said in that clip, he's not the most talented guy. And that's, I mean, to be debated, but because of his work ethic and because of the talent that he has become one of the most well-known and liked and loved actors in Hollywood. And he does a lot of other things that are really great for humanity as well. So Will Smith has an incredible story. If you followed him all the way back to his early years of rap and hip hop and R&B, all the way to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then through his movie career, the guy has just accomplished so much in his life. And him and his wife and his family and what they're doing in the world, they just have an incredibly powerful story. And if you want a life like that, then it's going to require an insane amount of work ethic. Very crazy, and I can't tell you how important that is. For me, as a kid, when I grew up, I started doing work at a very young age. At just 12, 13 years old, I was doing heavy labor, concrete work, and really that type of work was what pushed me to do what I'm doing today. I knew that I would make a lot more with my mind than I would with my hands, and so I made it a mission to learn, to educate myself, and to use my artistic and my creative abilities to build a career and a future for myself. And one year, I think I was like either 12 or 13, I was on a job site with my dad, and I look over and this little Mexican kid was actually on the job site with us, and he was maybe 8 or 9 years old, definitely less than 10 years old. And I see this little kid carrying a wheelbarrow like halfway full of cement. That thing must have been 100 pounds. And this little kid was just pulling and carrying this wheelbarrow. And I never forgot that moment my whole life. And I remember thinking to myself back then, wow, if this little kid is here working and helping his family and supporting his family and going out there and busting his butt like this at this age, where is he going to be when he's my age? How much stronger, how much more skilled is he going to be at his age versus me, where I just started a year ago? And I thought I was late to the game at 12 or 13 years old. This kid was about 8, 9, maybe even 10. So it just goes to show that left an imprint on me for work ethic. I knew that kid was putting his family first, that he wasn't doing it because he wanted to do it, because like my kid and many other kids in our society these days, they don't really want to put in the work, they don't want to contribute, they don't want to help, they're very entitled. But this kid did not have any sense of entitlement. He was from a different country. I could tell he wasn't born in the US, didn't speak any English, but he had a work ethic like no one would believe. And it's because of the culture and the family dynamic that he has and what he was taught by his Hispanic culture. And I love that about the Hispanic generation and people, especially people who have work ethic like me that are from Mexico and from South American countries. They have an incredible amount of work ethic. They work like an immigrant. Like my boy Carlos Secura always says, you got to show up to blow up. And that's all about your work ethic. Just a few years ago, I had started on a podcast, and I'd been putting a ton of work into starting to try to make myself well known in the community, sending people videos, really promoting myself as a marketing agency, as a premier marketing agency. And when I reached out to a gal, Ronnie Deutsch, and connected with her, she ended up reaching back out to me a few months later. I ended up on her radio show. That radio show led me to my own radio show. That radio show led to a podcast. That led to me getting on stages. And now I've been on stages all over the place. But through that process, I have not been the very best speaker. I'm sure you could go back to some of my YouTube videos and actually see the quality of the videos and how I've learned about speaking and how to communicate with people. That has drastically improved. And so I really feel like it's important that you understand that the talent, yeah, I may have some natural talents, but a lot of what I do and a lot of the graphics and the awards that I've won and things that I've done in my career have purely come from my work ethic. No one in my space, no one in the digital marketing space that I know personally will ever outwork me. And it's not just my own work ethic, but the amount of passion and interest and fire and burning desire that I have to where I know this is going, and the vehicle that this is for me to help with ministry going forward is really what my heart is after. So that creates a sense of urgency, and it creates a sense of interest and a sense of passion around this that cannot be beat. No one will beat out my passion and my fury. And there's guys like Gary Vee that are hardcore work ethics. They have crazy work ethic as well, but I'm younger. I have more time than Gary. I have another 10, probably 15 years on Gary that he doesn't have. And I started very early. At an age of 19 years old, I started my first graphics and printing company, which was a retail location. And I have been going ever since then. So if you do the math, that is over 13 years that I've been busting my freaking tail to get where I'm at today. It didn't happen overnight. It happened over a 13-year period. And there is, if you listen to, what's his name, the Total Money Makeover, I'm forgetting his name now. I have his book here. But if you listen to the Dave Ramsey, there we go. If you listen to Dave Ramsey, you'll hear him talk about actually having a 15-year goal. That most entrepreneurs will have to work for 15 years before they really reach their big point. I'm 13 years in, so I still have a couple more years left to really reach that huge success that I want to get to, and I know that I'll get there because I'm going to keep the momentum, I'm going to keep the great quality videos, I'm going to keep the content, but all of that doesn't come without practice and sacrifice of really, really hard work. And I've been working my tail off for 13 years. I sacrificed going out and partying with my friends, going to bars, going to nightclubs. None of that stuff interested me, not because I don't like having fun, but because I have way more passion and desire for what my life's purpose is here on earth, to help at-risk youth and to restore broken families. I know that that supersedes everything and anything other than my wife and my child and my family. So I have a God-given calling on my life that I know of, and I have a strong sense of identity and purpose on this planet, and I have for a very, very long time. And if you don't have that, then what your job and your work ethic should be going to is finding that. So that may be traveling across the country and going exploring other destinations and other cultures and other people and seeing what drives and motivates other people. You need to be working your butt off to find that passion. That's your key. And you may need to find a 9-to-5 job in the meantime until you find that passion, but you need to do everything you can and make it your absolute mission to work. If you're working 8 hours a day at a job, then when you go home, you should spend another 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day out of your day, out of your 24 hours a day. Sacrifice some sleep if you have to find out what that passion is, find out what you really, really love to do. Because they say, if you find what you love and you do what you love for a living, then you never work a day in your life. And I believe that's true for the most part. But there are some special circumstances, but I think the general rule is that if you really find something that you love, and for me, doing videos isn't like the greatest thing that I love. I love creating content, I love speaking, I love coaching, I love teaching. Not being a YouTube guy isn't my calling. My calling is to help at-risk youth, but I know that this is a vehicle to get from point A to point B, and that's what I'm going after, and that's why I'm using YouTube, and that's why I need your guys' support, because I have a huge mission here in front of me. My goal is to lift all of you guys up, to raise your mindset, to raise your status, to raise your income, all of the things that I want to help you guys do, improve your businesses, grow, and get the freedom that you want, that you've been looking for, that you've been struggling with because you have bad clients or whatever the reason is. You have somebody that's an advocate for you, and I will always be an advocate for you. So I can't stress to you enough, please find what your true calling and passion is. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, what your hobby is, what you love talking about, what comes up in your mind. Maybe it's video games, I don't know. But the first tip that I want to give you today is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. This is so important. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. You have to be willing to work harder than your competitor. While my competitors are off playing and partying and traveling and doing all the hype, I'm sitting here recording videos, working on new content, brainstorming new ideas, working on our plan, setting up systems and processes, reading books like Good to Great. There are tons of things out there that you could be doing to grow yourself, grow your team, grow your company, and grow your future. And that's what I put up a priority first, and that's what I work the hardest for, other than my family. Okay? Now, number 2 is I want you to do what you were passionate about. I've talked about that a few times in this video. It is so important for you to do what you're passionate about and to find your passion. If you don't know what your passion is, then you need to work your butt off to find it, because you will find it. If you look hard enough, you will find it. If you think about it hard enough, you'll find it. And ask your friends, ask the people that are around you what it is that they think your gifts are. What do they see about you that makes you light up, that makes you excited? Because I had somebody do that for me, and it was a huge help. He said, dude, you're not interested in running an agency. You want to train, you want to teach, you want to coach, you want to consult. Those are the things that I see you light up. I see people's jaws drop. That's where you make the greatest impact in people's life, is actually doing what you're passionate about. So get out of running an agency. So I handed off the agency to my team. They're running things very, very well, and we're continuing to grow. We're going through growth spurts and growing pains, but we're getting through it, and we're working together as a team and learning how to communicate better and just make that progress. But it all comes with work. It is so, so important. Okay, now number 3 is you got to give up the things that don't bring meaning into your life. If you're spending 2-3 hours a day, 4 hours a day playing video games, or 2 or 3 hours a day watching your favorite TV show, trust me, I get to sleep. When I go to bed at night, I crawl into bed about 9:30 at night. I usually pop on Netflix and watch an episode or 2 of Outlander, and sometimes I'll stay up too late, stay up till 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12. For the most part, I'm always working while I'm doing that. So I have a balance. I'm not always just focused on the show, but I have a healthy balance of the things that I like to enjoy and keep in my life, like watching a show, an episode here or there. Those are the things that I make time for. But if it doesn't bring meaning into your life, I want you to try to cut it out. I want you to get as much of it out of your life as possible and fill that time with reading, growing, training, watching videos, doing anything and everything you can to find your passion, pursue your passions, grow your passions, and monetizing your passions, because there's so much potential out there for what you are passionate about, what you do in almost any industry. So that's my biggest message for you guys. I want you to find your passion. It's very important. I want you to find the work ethic. I want you to dig it up wherever it's at. If you want it bad enough, you'll work hard enough for it and you'll get it. So that's all I got for you today. This has been a great video. I'm glad I got to share this with you. I know it'll help. If you need help, please drop a comment. Please let me know what you need help with. Please feel free to email me. I'm easy to reach. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Boysel. And I just would love your subscribe. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. I got a lot of great content coming. I'm really passionate about building this up. This for me is more about practice and getting better at presenting on YouTube and presenting online and on TV, and really helping continue to build my authority and influence as an expert in my industry. And so this is what I have to do. This is part of my work ethic and cutting this time out of my week every single week to make these videos, not just for myself, but I do this first for you guys. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you can understand work ethic a little bit better and some of those key points and really help you out. Hope you guys have a blessed day, and as always, keep looking up.